Morning world, it's 9 on the 21st of August 2013 and this is an astrological forecast for the horoscope known as the United States of America, born at 5:10 in the afternoon in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on the 4th of July 1776. This is not a chart analysis, this is a forecast based on recent current situations and potentials for the future. The first thing I want to do with the USA chart is look at its progressions. I noticed 11 years ago in 2001 it was, yes, just around 9/11, when the progressed sun in the USA's chart was on top of its natal moon. It had moved all the way from Cancer in 1776, 1 degree a year, to the end of Aquarius in 2001. Now in 2013, the progressed sun for the USA is at 8/9 degrees of Pisces, just clearing its natal Ceres position, suggesting that as a nation, the idea of the way it nurtures itself, let alone nurtures others, has really come up for critical reassessment and examination over recent years. As significantly, if not more so, is the movement of the progressed moon, which changes sign every 2.5 years. The progressed moon currently now is at 29 degrees 57 of Libra, about to move into Scorpio and immediately conjunct both progressed Saturn and be within influence of natal Saturn. Something in the next 48 hours is likely to symbolically change in regard to the USA in a way that does represent the moon moving from Libra into Scorpio. This is more to do with the internal status. At the external situation, the USA next year is going to have Pluto opposite its sun. There is no escaping this. It's one of the most intense astrological aspects of all, and it creates a degree of forced transformation. This can either be the square peg being rammed and pushed and squeezed into a round hole, or it can be caterpillar into butterfly and snake shedding its skin, and a transformation based on regeneration and rebirth as opposed to compulsive or obsessive behavior. There's a fracturing coming, and out of that will come something much greener, much newer, much fresher, and much more integrated and holistic. It's going to take a couple of years because next year also Uranus will square the USA's sun, and it seems inevitable that at some stage over the coming 18 months the constitutional nature of the USA is going to go through permanent and radical change in a way there's going to be some type of fragmentation or fracturing or secession or something like this, which will then come back together again in years to come. Not that long either, but from a much more holistic and integrated perspective, mutually supportive and totally inclusive. That's going to take a couple of years. Neptune is currently trining the USA's Jupiter and Venus, and there is a quiet, subtle, sophisticated revolution going on in the background, cross culture, cross race. It seems that there's enough people out there reaching for the more spiritual, the more subtle, the aesthetic, refined, artistic, empathic, compassionate and intuitive to be able to affect the outcome in a long-term favourable way, and this is the intention. I keep looking because I've got America's chart here. Look, that's the chart I'm using for America. That's the Sibley chart. Saturn, not doing too much at the moment, not going to be doing too much over the coming year. If anything, the USA is in for a relatively Saturn-free year. It's in the area of its chart dealing with community, so it's not going to be the most popular person in the world, but hey, what's new? Nevertheless, it's not going to lose any big friends either. Consistency in areas around community. Now, the big news is Jupiter. Jupiter's now just moving into 12 degrees of Cancer today. The USA Sun is at 13 degrees of Cancer and the USA Saturn is at 14 degrees of Libra. This suggests to me that we're about, within the next week or two, to see something rather radical develop around America. Something big is brewing. And this is going to take place within the next 2 weeks, possibly within the next 72 hours. The progressed moon moving into Scorpio within the next 48 hours. Jupiter actively conjuncting the USA Sun, specifically. When's this? This is going to be on Tuesday of next week, 6 days' time. Suggests to me that within the coming 10 days or so, something's going to develop that at first will seem way out of proportion and larger than life and over the top. And it won't even begin to die down until the second week of August. But then, hopefully, cool heads and reflection will take place. And when Jupiter comes back to this degree, which will be, I suggest, around February, March, and April of next year, clearing by the end of April, only then will we start to see how realistic the future looks for America. I'm going to America. It looks like I'm going to America. I'm trying to arrange the visa in the next couple of days. And as soon as I hear on that, I'll be planning my schedule big time. So I'm going to be there when all this is happening. I hope I'm not bringing it with me. It's going to be an exciting time for America. It's also likely to be an extremely changeable time. And it's probably going to have a fair degree of disruption and chaos around it as well. However, the medium long term, 2 to 3 years down the line, there's clear signs of a much more cleaner, clearer, more integrated future based on inclusivity and mutual support as much as individuality, because America's a rugged country. It's the home of the rugged individual. That ain't going to change. There you go. That's my forecast over the coming year or two for the USA. Later or tomorrow, I'll look at the current president. Thanks. Bye.